There isn't anything more special anywhere. This is what most people don't tell you. Because, and there's nothing wrong with this, okay? There's nothing wrong with anything. Not in the mental idea of what that means, but that's just energetically how life is. There are no distinctions. There is no better or worse. So, most people, when they do have this sense of unworthiness, which most likely will be there, especially when there's ownership in the body, like this is me, and then comparison happens. Am I better than? Am I worse than? And a lot of this can be unconscious, and a lot of it is ingrained since childhood, to believe that in order to have value and to feel worthy and good enough, you know, I have to be X, Y, and Z. I have to be prettier, skinnier, more fit, taller, more intelligent, more charismatic, more confident. Etc., etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's so understandable why that is so rampant in society. But here, I want to clarify that there is nothing more special here. There also isn't anything less special. It's all even. This is just one seeming body appearing from life, from emptiness. It is empty, it is life. It's not even an actual body. It's just a label, a name we put to this. Just like we put a name of a tree to this, but it's not a tree. We have no idea what that is. It's just absolute beauty. Look at how beautiful. I don't know if you got any of that, but whatever. So, you know, I feel like when I talk to people, like it's okay if there's a projection of something special here, you know, it's okay. It's not like you have to get rid of that, but honestly, and these are just words, but like the joy here is to, all I see is equality. All I see is no separation. Like you're not an entity. You're not a person with these qualities and with these measurements, these made up, conceptualized measurements. The deepest joy for me is to just melt that away, because it's already the case that none of that matters. None of that is true. To begin with, there was never anything wrong with you. And that's not something to believe, because I know that when you've grown up with, let's say, really low self-esteem, sometimes it seems like you have a lot against you, based on what society deems normal or worthy or better than or successful. This made-up ideal image of something that's nothing. You can't help but believe that that's somewhat true, and it gets ingrained energetically in the body. So I don't blame you, you know? There isn't even a you that did that. It just happened. To a certain degree, it seems inevitable. And you know, when you disappear, that energetic sense that I am this body, or I'm here, or here-ness, meaning like a solid positional here, when that dissolves, the conditioning, energetic conditioning of I'm not worthy can still continue for a while. It's stored in the body. So again, I want to emphasize that this isn't an out. Like, all of that isn't just gonna disappear. It's more that the central owner, the one that feels like it's a problem, that it's a real solid problem, that's the only thing that goes. And so the body is still conditioned the way it's conditioned, and there was certainly a lot of low self-esteem here. So it's taken a while for that to really soften in its own time, and it still goes on. But now there's no care about it. It just is what it is. It's not better or worse than anything. And I also want to emphasize that if, like me, there's low self-esteem, what's being spoken about can be misinterpreted. I feel like a teacher. I should have like a whiteboard and come to the cemetery and teach you things. I'm not a teacher. I'm not anything. Or I'm everything. Or there is just everything. Oh, so yeah, there can be this misinterpretation of nothing special, and then unconsciously it could be kind of felt like, okay, I'm not special. And because the conditioning around that is so automatic, sometimes you don't even notice that it's being misinterpreted that way. Like, there's a sense of a here or a me that is feeling unspecial. And psychologically, it's taken on that way. And that's also not a problem, but I just want to emphasize that just in case that's happening, because that certainly seemed to happen here for a bit. But, you know, it was seen. It was seen when it was time to be seen. So basically, that's just an overview of what could be going on, and that ultimately you're not there, and you're so beautiful. You're so unique. There's never been anything wrong with you. But if you feel that way, if that seems like the case, it's also okay. It's understandable that it might be there. And it's interesting that a lot of the energy to do a lot, it kind of does go. It seems like the body is more free to just do what it naturally wants to do. It just becomes clear what just feels right, you know, because at a certain point, that's all there is. There's much less of that. Should I be doing this? Is this right? Does this feel right for me? And there's no problem if that's arising, but just as a description, it feels like it just becomes clear. And so a so-called character, or the conditioning in this body, is just being lived or acted out, or just as it is. It seemingly continues. And nothing's continuing because there is no actual time. Time is an illusory, energetic sense. It's part of the effect of me. So when time disappears, this is it. This is all there is. And that was always so.